Hi, I'm Robert Washer, and this is my graphics engine demo. Here you see that we have the full scene. We have these 15 objects right in front of us in a grid with various, we have 3 models. We got the pyramids up top, we got the cubes in the center, and we got a 6-pointed star on the 6-pointed star in the bottom row. If you look at the columns, the far right one is drawn using a base color material, which is just coloring with the colors of the the vertex position. And the next one to the left is using a wireframe material. It's drawing just the wireframe of the object. The next two are drawn using a flat texture. We have a grass texture, as you can see, and a texture that basically is basically a representation of the surface of the moon. And then the last one is a point light texture. They're drawing with a point light texture, and it has it's drawing a brick texture with point light. And we have multiple lights in the scene. I can switch between them by hitting a button. See, there's a red light which is on the positive x-axis. You have the white that we saw, which is on the positive z-axis. And if we can do the other ones, we have the green, which is on the negative z-axis, and we have the blue, which is on the green was on the negative x-axis. The blue is on the negative z-axis. Sorry, and you can see each of them. All the objects, like at the top row, the pyramids are having different transformations. We have the point light one rotating around the y-axis, the moon texture pyramid rotating around the z-axis, and the grass texture rotating around the x-axis. And then you have the base color one that is doing a scale in and out from 0 to 2 times its size. And then on the cubes we have another one rotating at a different speed around the z-axis on the point light. The moon texture is rotating very slowly around the y-axis. The grass texture is rotating faster around the y-axis, and the wireframe is not doing any translation there. No transformations at all are being applied to it. And the base color is scaling just on the x-axis from 0 to 2 times its, I believe it's 2 times its size. And then on the stars we have the point light is rotating around multiple axes. It's rotating around the x and the y-axis. The moon texture is again rotating around the y-axis, and the grass texture is rotating around all 3 axes at the same time. And if we go over to here, we have the 3 different objects rotating around the same axis at different speeds. The pyramid is orbiting very slowly around the axis, and it has a leaf texture. The star is rotating at a medium speed around the axis, and it has a metal texture to it. And then the cube has a lattice texture, and is rotating very fast around that, orbiting very fastly around that axis. And we have a star that is traveling up and down on that axis while rotating on all 3 axes. And as we go over here, we have a cube that is rotating its textures, showing that you can switch textures on the objects. It's just cycling through 5 or 6 textures. We have the grass, then we have the lattice texture, then we have leaf texture, we have the orange mosaic texture, brick texture, and back to the grass. Then you have the small little cube here that's using the scene graph tree. It is a child of the rotating texture cube, and so it's actually just it just has a translation from that cube, and it's always going to be at the same point in relation to what the other cube is at. And we go over here, we have two other ones doing a vertical movement while they're rotating or while they're orbiting around a specified axis, and each one of them has a different length of how far up and down they go, and they are rotating at the same speed. Then we have multiple cameras. I can switch to this one, which is following this other other cube that I did not talk about, which is just traveling in a square pattern around the scene, and the camera will always follow this one object. It will just keep following it as it makes its path. And then we go to this other camera, and it is rotating around the non-moving wireframe cube in the center of the grid. And we can switch back to the normal, drivable camera. And I believe that is all that I have. Thank you very much.